Alright, we're in the Death Dream, or in the Forest of Myth again, and we're gonna help these two out, save them from the Death Dream, and then hopefully get a cool weapon.
Are we gonna solve some more riddles?
Maybe. Or maybe we're gonna take it in a different direction from now on.
I still find it strange how being infected with a Death Dream just leaves you standing up while sleeping.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for your back, at least.
That's very true. Very good for your back.
Yeah.
But I can never... How do people actually do that? Is it, as I hear, it's actually possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you just lock your bones, I guess.
you get the key out, put it in your back.
Get your skeleton key out.
Okay, so what we got this time... Oh, it is more riddles.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's more text anyway. That's the name of the game.
Oh. This is a very metal story. I like this one.
And we're hearing metal clanking in the background. It's all appropriate.
It's all industrial.
Yeah.
It starts with a bit of Rammstein in a few seconds. Is this music played anywhere else? It sounds familiar.
This is the background music for the Junk Heap.
Yeah, I thought as much. It did seem quite familiar.
Most of the music that you hear during the Death Dreams themselves is reused music, yeah.
So this is interesting. So each individual person has their own Death Dream.
Yeah.
Huh.
This one's pretty cool, I think. This is probably my favorite out of the three, just because it's the most... the most actually reminiscent of text adventures, I guess. You'll see why in a bit.
Mm-hmm. But more interestingly, this seems to be from the actual perspective of the Death Dream recipient, not...
Oh yeah, that's right. I hadn't even thought about that. You're right.
Look, before it was from NieR's perspective, but now it's the other way around. That's interesting.
Yeah.
We're not playing as NieR anymore. This is an existential crisis, man.
This is too weird. Then now they're really taking me out of the experience. It's not the text part.
It's just...
That said, I mean, it is literature 101 to not switch between first and third person in your stories, and they made that mistake.
No, maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe it's pushing the envelope. The envelope. That's not how to pronounce it. Americans say envelope, I say envelope, I guess.
You can pronounce it however you want.
Thank you.
That's pushing the envelope of language barriers.
I always like these because I like to picture these.
Yeah. So, speaking of picturing, this actually has nothing to do with picturing. I'm sorry for that bad transition. But this Death Dream takes the shape of a text adventure more than the others do, because this one actually makes you pick your directions.
Oh, we can't type?
No, unfortunately not. We can't eat pillow.
We can't take brick.
No.
Or kill self.
That would be tragic.
It would be.
No, we have to do it with preset directions. Unfortunately, I don't have that sweet attachment you can plug into the back of the DualShock that gives you like a tiny keyboard that you can use in Unreal Tournament 3, and I'm pretty sure nothing else.
Wait, is that an actual accessory?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. But you make me think it's like those BlackBerry keyboards, those really tiny ones.
It is really tiny, yeah. It's only as wide as the DualShock 3 itself.
What? That's insane. How can
I know.
Why would you need a whole keyboard for playing Unreal Tournament 3 and whatever? So
when you get fragged by some noob, you can tell them how bad they are.
This is a necessary accessory and I need it right now.
It is. So during this part, now the directions are going to start getting a little more complex. And on the whole, our goal is to go north and east, just in general. So northeast, I guess. If you take the wrong direction 3 times in a row, the water that's raising will catch up to you and you'll drown and game over.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
So the game has given us hints to go north and east.
No, that is just the correct direction. 'Cause we came from all the way south,
Oh.
and then you can go east and west, but you can only go west a couple of times,
Yeah.
and then that will just lead to a dead end.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Except for this time, I think we actually went east, but we had to go west. I don't know. This is like the only dead end or like wrong direction that has like an actual interesting bit of text to it. The other ones are just, we got to a dead end with a window or whatever, time to turn back.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
That said, this is still, this is one hell of a dead end, if you know what I'm saying.
That's dark.
It is dark, yeah.
The deadest end.
These terrible chairs.
I know that pain. Have you ever tried sitting on a bench for like an hour? Like an hour and a half in school? Because I did that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's made me appreciate a comfy chair.
I sit on, when I'm sitting behind my computer, I sit on a really terrible couch that is no good for my back. So I wish I could sleep standing up, because maybe that would do my posture some good.
Oh, I might get myself a new chair.
I absolutely need a new chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this entire story is taking the shape of a really epic opera right now.
It does have an element to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it'd be an awesome rock opera. I could imagine this being in like an album.
I don't think these would make for good lyrics.
Break it down.
Well, that one does. That's pretty simple.
Well, I mean, operas. I mean, have you ever seen some operas? They have like these lyrics could work. It's just like normal conversation and story in song form.
Okay, yeah, I guess so.
I guess it depends on how like pretentious you want to make it.
Yeah, I like this part.
I always like Vice's power of being able to read the actual text because he's a book. That's a cool power, actually.
And I think this is fun because this also means that we know that NieR and Vice don't see any more than we do. Or I guess that means NieR can't see anything.
No, I mean, I don't actually know if NieR,
Or maybe NieR can and Vice only sees the text, who knows?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, it is interesting that we know as much as the characters do, literally.
Yeah. See, I'm glad that even though they already took a weird gameplay turn, and on its own that could have been enough, but they also played with it a little to make it just a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the Death Dream Death Dream people now. Yeah. I keep calling them recipients, like it's just some sort of gift that they got. As a reward for your hard work over these years, you are now a recipient of the Death Dream. I trust that you will enjoy.
So when this lady, and I don't actually know if it goes for the rest of the citizens, but when this lady gets taken out of the Death Dream, the hood that she had on gets removed.
Yeah, I was about to say something about that too, because maybe it's some sort of representation. But this guy's not wearing a hood. Yeah, that's a bit weird.
And it was a pretty nice hood too. I think she should have kept it to wear on a rainy day or something.
Oh, definitely. I mean, sometimes you just need a good hood.
There NieR goes again, being prejudiced all over again.
I swear to God, he needs to have a lesson in sensitivity towards books.
He does.
I mean, books get a lot of flack.
Yeah, books get a bad rap for not being. I don't know.
Get a bad rap for not being digital internet.
Everybody's on their Kindle nowadays. Everybody, man, kids. I see them walking around with their Kindles all the time. God.
I know. No one wants physical copies anymore. Nobody wants a library. No one wants a bookcase. They just want.
I don't think I've actually ever seen a Kindle in my life.
Really?
Yeah, maybe like on the bus once, and I wouldn't have recognized it.
My mum has one. They're quite interesting, actually. They have like this. So like looking at an LCD screen for ages, it like really hurts your eyes.
Yeah.
I believe the Kindle actually has like a sort of lighting setting you can use. Which stops it from being a strain.
Yeah, well, Kindles have, like, those old school, like, dot screens like Game Boys had, right? Except way higher quality, obviously.
I couldn't say, but it's definitely not, like, traditional, like, laptop screens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You won't get blinded if you read the text on, like, in this video here.
So here is a question from me to you that I'm genuinely curious about the answer to. So it's called a Kindle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is it called that because you don't need books anymore, so you can use your books to kindle a fire?
I mean, all I know is that Amazon do have this thing with fire, like calling their products like based on fire.
Oh, hey, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like Amazon Fire, like I don't know what else. I think that's the only one I really know. This is a very good pattern. Yeah, a very good product line. It's got 2 that I know of, but. I almost wouldn't be surprised if it was Amazon's way of saying, you know what we need to get rid of? Books. You know what we need to do?
Burn all books.
Kindle them. And we need to call our product the Kindle.
That is definitely has no bad historical context at all.
Books will always exist. There has to be something that will last. Because digital things can break. Won't last forever. Service can stop.
Books rot eventually. Yeah.
Books rot too, but it's, much like... Wait, what am I trying to say here? Some books can survive for a long time.
Yeah, I guess a lot of books have, but they can't last forever.
No, yeah, nothing lasts forever. Entropy and all that in it.
Mm-hmm. But the technology can always be repurposed. Or it can always be rebuilt, and a book, you can't really rebuild a book once it's in tatters.
Right, I'm really sorry to all the people watching the Uncut video right now for me saying this, but of all this chatting about unrelated things, I've actually not kept attention to what this one is about.
Oh, basically we're in like a desert area, I think, and we're walking towards this city with giant pillars, and NieR and Vice are walking to it, and then they're not getting any closer, and then they see a mirage of water, and they start going to it a couple times.
So our goal is not to be fooled by this mirage.
Yeah, but I think this time we found it for real.
Surely Vice would realize that they're, like, looking at a mirage from the text, but...
Maybe. I mean, hey, 3rd time's the charm, right?
It's true. Rule of 3 in any Nintendo game. Is this sung in the Facade language? Or is this...
No, I don't think so, but that could be, actually.
It's sung in a...
No. It's not, because it's way too... It flows too freely to be, like, fake Japanese, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's more... I think this is the French European language they have.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm. This is Kaine's theme song, by the way, but it's really more like the sad moment theme song. City of Art. The one and only.
It's just filled with fan art of NieR. Oh, interesting.
That seems terrible. That's like the last thing I build in a desert.
Interesting.
See what I mean now when I said that this part was too evocative, like visually evocative, for it to like work in a small budget game like this?
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't have been able to put this in.
Yeah, this is definitely something which is FMV territory right now.
Yeah, for sure. And this game doesn't have any of these. It doesn't even have an FMV opening or anything like that.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It was all actually from the engine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Even the stuff with Yona at the beginning in the Weird Dream.
Right, yeah.
Interesting.
And I mean, even Drakengard got FMV cutscenes. Like, damn, Square, way to be fickle.
Gotta be cheap. It's gotta make the most money. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Dollar, dollar. Yen, yen.
And all that, yeah.
Modern art. Whoa. Whoa, I don't think that's modern anymore. I always... You know, England has, like, the worst architecture. It's like, there's a type of architecture called brutalism, which I read about.
Uh-huh.
And it's literally just trying to go against the whole really artistic buildings of, like, the 30s and 40s.
Okay.
By just making them concrete square blocks, basically. And it was really big in the UK for, like, the 70s, 60s, and 80s or so.
That is definitely not my thing. I'm not down with that.
And so a lot of our cities look, most of our cities, like, they have a lot of, like, just concrete monoliths in the city, and it's like, I
have to interrupt you for a second, because I gotta mention that we're hearing a new song right now.
Oh, man.
It's the fight version of Kaine's theme song, so drink it in, because we won't be hearing this again for a really long time. So this is a pretty old riddle too, and I'll tell you what, I'm still getting, like, people are still roasting me for not knowing that the man riddle from 2 episodes ago, or I guess from the last real episode, was the Oedipus riddle. I'm still getting crap for not knowing that.
I mean, I did know that it was from something, like, big and important, but
I figured as much, yeah.
I just couldn't remember at the time. So we literally have to do a logic puzzle.
Yes.
These are my favorite kind of puzzles. I need to be paying attention to this one.
Me too, but I think this one, it's too many different screens for me to keep up with this one, so I'm pretty sure the first time I got to this part, I just guessed.
I mean, the problem is that there's no consequence if you choose wrongly. You just have to listen to this for ages.
Yeah, well, you have to go through a sizable chunk of the text again if you get the wrong one, I think.
I actually want to try and find more of these types of puzzles, because in the because I know I like to play some Professor Layton, and in the older games they had a lot more of those types of puzzles than in the newer ones.
Yeah, the newer ones are just more like straightforward, like gamey puzzles, right?
Yeah, but it's like, that's not what I'm after. I'm after, like, brain melting puzzles, you know?
Right.
That's what I play them for.
Well, either way, we pulled it off. We saved this guy with the fly pants.
Interesting, though, that we explored, like, an actual, what seemed to be a city.
Yeah.
I really wanted to know more about this world.
Well, it was a fake dream world, so...
Yeah.
But it was an interesting one, so I'm glad we went there in whatever capacity we did.
I mean, all dreams are kind of based a little bit in reality, so it'd be interesting to see.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interested to see, like, you know, more about these, like, old ruined cities or, like, old ruined structures. I want to see more of those.
Yeah, I wonder what that villager experienced in his life that let him structure that dream out of his memories.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, for all our hard work, we get another new weapon.
Wow, the old man. With the faith weapons. It's a cool name for a weapon, actually.
So this guy says that the Faith is a weapon of some renown.
Mm-hmm.
And a fun fact is that a lot of weapons that are in NieR are actually just copied wholesale from Drakengard. And in Drakengard, the Faith, which is a sweet katana, no less,
Yes.
is actually called, I think it's called the Nobuyashi, and in the story, it's actually like, it is a blade of some renown. So I think that's supposed to be a reference back to Drakengard, I'm not sure.
Oh, we can become 14-year-olds again with our katanas. I can't wait.
Faith is actually a pretty good weapon, if only because when you fully upgrade it, it is the longest weapon that we'll be getting for a really long time. So it has a really large reach, and that's nice.
It gets longer?
Yes.
The model?
Its range becomes bigger. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, they do change their appearance as you upgrade them, don't they?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So now we're going to have a quick chat with the mayor again, or with everybody again, because if you go back to them, they have tiny little conversation bits that you can still check out.
Oh man, they're gonna build a statue for. Wait, that's amazing. We can look at our statue anytime.
Sweet.
Too bad you have to. It's all in a paragraph. They're such characters.
I know. The mayor's really is a good old-fashioned uncle.
He has that, like, funny dad vibe where he's like,
He has the really, really high-quality jokes.
You can say we're not peas if you know what I mean.
That sounds bad.
This sounds great to me. No sleeping allowed. I mean, you get tired when you eat, though.
Yeah, you do. I mean, unless it's like all sugar, and you just keep getting new sugar highs.
Oh no, I crash hard after eating too much sugar. You know how?
But if you keep eating it,
if you keep eating it, you'll get diabetes. I'm afraid.
Yeah, you're right. That would also. I mean, hey, they don't specify anything about that. All they say is you eat for 3 days, and then after that, whatever happens, happens. You know.
My doctor would not recommend me to celebrate the feast of the 3 days.
No.
He says I should only celebrate the feast of the 1 day.
That sounds a lot healthier. I think even that's pushing it.
It's a third. It's 2/3 healthier, actually. I'll have you know.
66% of doctors agree. Well, I sure hope that the villagers exercise caution in their extremely dangerous food feast adventures.
So are those the only ones that were asleep?
Yeah, I guess so. They're the only villagers that this entire village has.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be like 5 or 6 of them.
No, it's just 2. There's probably more, but that's the only ones we see.
But we can talk to them. It's so odd how you by just speaking to them, you speak in the text.
You speak in dream mood.
It's so strange.
Yeah.
It's cool because it makes this village have its own character.
Yeah.
Like all the way from the very start, and it keeps its character. It's consistent, and I like that.
Yeah. Even though I don't really know what this is supposed to symbolize, because this full screen text block, that's supposed to be, for the players at least, that's the way the Death Dream, what's the word I'm looking for?
That's how the Death Dream manifested?
Yeah, manifests, exactly. So I don't know what this is really supposed to be like. Obviously we're just talking and it's like just there to be kind of silly, but I don't know. It's a little bit strange.
I mean, we've saw the Death Dream. They don't have the Death Dream anymore, so...
Yeah.
I mean... Yeah, it is. I mean, I guess that is a little bit of an inconsistency, but I like that it sticks with keeping this place as the text adventure place.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously why they did it, because that's just the thing in the Forest of Myth, but yeah, it's weird.
And besides, this means that they can actually say more, the characters can talk more.
Yeah. Talk a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And really sort of get into what they're saying as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's not going to have a good time at the Feast of 3 Days, I'll tell you that.
Oh my god. Traumatizing feast. Poor girl.
Yeah, I know.
Feel bad.
Maybe all those people that were dead at that feast banquet in that castle were all dead because they ate too much at the Feast of 3 Days.
They just had to, just like the episode of, just like that Monty Python.
Yeah.
I call you mom stuffed.
So I guess there are other people. How about that?
They left.
Yeah. I don't know what being a neighbor means in here because all the houses are so far removed from each other.
Oh yeah, let's talk about kittens. Vice, I like how he thinks. Pretty sad.
That one was a little sad. You'd hope that these stories after they're saved from the death dream would be a little more upbeat, but alas.
I guess the troubles are only just beginning now that they've awoken.
Maybe so.
I mean, it sounds like it'd be an experience which you just wouldn't ever want to experience again, or ever want to be close to knowing about, so... I hope we get to see that statue.
No, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
And if we try talking to it, it just breaks out in text. Come on. It's great.
How is a village with such a small economy gonna get enough gold to build a statue anyway?
You could just build it out of dream gold. You could just imagine it.
Yeah.
They imagined the statue.
There's a beautiful statue right here. Damn, it's so good. I'm glad I'm getting to see it.
The sun reflects off it and it creates a dazzling, iridescent glow across the entire village.
God, I feel better about my life just looking at it.
This has cured my disease. This has cured my sadness. I'm now a better man. Yeah, no one ever talks about the lives of the random NPCs in video games.
No. I mean, that's because usually there's something really important going on.
Yeah. But I mean, the random NPCs in all those fantasy games must really admire, like, the way we just, like, you know, just keep on going on and just always fighting and all that sort of thing.
I'd be scared, like, with how powerful the heroes tend to get by the end of your average RPG. Like, I would close up shop whenever they get close, because I wouldn't want to get within 10 foot of those guys.
You wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of them in case they had just destroyed your shop.
They would break your counter just putting down the money.
And imagine if you were, like, in a Zelda game, the villagers, and you got like, Link running around, just fire, it's like, swinging his sword around the grass and everything.
Well, Link's one thing, because he doesn't really get more powerful as the game goes on. He gets more health and more tools. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know, a Final Fantasy game, like, by the end of those, you're killing Satan in one hit.
Sometimes literally.
Yeah.
You got the power to blow up everything with an ultimate blast.
It's scary.
You can summon meteors.
Yeah.
And they got random encounters just outside town. I guess you're right.
And that does it for the Forest of Myth.
Oh.
It was a nice little change of pace, but I think that by now we've had more than enough.
I'll miff it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll miff it greatly.